हाँ, कौन है? कौन आया जी? इधर आओ सामने. You just people wait for 2 minutes. क्या है? सर वो बोल रहे जूम ऐप का जरा पासवर्ड बता रहा है. कौन बोल रहा है? सर वो पासवर्ड डाल रहा था तो जूम ऐप से हम नहीं काम कर रहे हैं. कौन बोला तुमको जूम ऐप से हम काम कर रहे हैं? सर वो दीदी बोली कि सर के पास. कौन दीदी? हैं? वो वहाँ पे सामने जो रहती है. जूम ऐप से हम नहीं काम कर रहे हैं. हमारे पास नहीं, कोई दूसरे के पास वाला होगा. हाँ, अभी जाओ, अभी हम पढ़ा रहे, बाद में आना 12 बजे के बाद. यस. गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन. Almost few people are yet to come. So let us begin. Last day I discussed mainly I introduced about the NumPy object, NumPy library, and the creation of ND array object, and I told different ways of creating NumPy array. At the same time, you have also got I have so that you can read in that, and I expect you have read the book and you have worked accordingly for creating a NumPy array as directed there. I told that array is the collection of same type of items in a fixed size of memory allocation, where only one type of data can be stored, and it is mainly used for numerical data processing. There are different ways of creating NumPy array. Mainly I used list or list of lists for creating NumPy array, and I told that whatever the dimensions are there in the array, that is also called its rank. And later on I used some of its properties to extract the properties of NumPy array, like size and shape and item size and ndim. They provide different properties of NumPy array. Next to the book, if you will see, you'll find that it is given to do indexing and slicing. But before that, before to go in processing NumPy list, I just want to recall and to discuss some more methods which are used for creating the array. Actually, suppose you have to create a big object, big NumPy array, then it is not practical. Suppose of 100 items, 100 numbers, you have to create a sample ND array object, then it is not worthy, it is not appropriate and proper to type 100 numbers and then to create the array. So there are some automated functions also which can generate in fact numbers, and that can be used for creating NumPy arrays. So it is good to know about all those functions which can generate numbers, and can those numbers can be given to the ND array object to create a NumPy array. So let us get the idea about all those. In the meantime, it will be better that you will confirm that last day's discussion, you will confirm you have read the book, and you have worked on the array creation tasks on your computers. Let me see how many of you are confirming that yes, you have done. Ankit Kumar has confirmed, read the book and did in the array operations. Yusra Rizvi, I have read the book. रिया पता नहीं किसके नाम से, I have done. Ananya, and one more. Actually, since your mobiles are by your mother name and I forget your mother names, that is why it is difficult for me to recognize that who has written. But anyway, altogether, अच्छा, गुनगुन's mother name is नूतन भदानी. Okay. Anyway, देखो मैं फिर से रिपीट कर रहा हूँ कि whatever the time through which you are passing, I think that it is first ever in the civilization that the whole world is locked. So your responsibility is much, much more, because it is not so that when after completing your studies you will come in the world, this lockdown period will continue, and if continue also, then the time is coming to be very tough. So preparing yourself is your ultimate task with responsibility. So again and again I remind you ki, as far as I assume that all of your works we have planned to continue in the self-oriented in doing your work, and of course when you will do, you will continuously be, even after the class also, you will be in contact with me to resolve your issues. And making the write-ups, I always tell that find time to write what I discussed. Though I send the description, I write here, but still, if it will be written in your words, it will be better for you to understand in the proper way. So that's it. Since it is my part to make you recall again and again, not to forget your aim and your real responsibility, I'm telling that. And rest, I'm not going to see you that in what way you are working, but I believe, I keep faith on my students that they keep the meaning of my words and work accordingly. Anyway, so I told some other ways of creating sample in the array. Actually, I'm writing the word sample because in the real world problems they are rarely used, but during the time of study, if some array is required, then you will find some easier way of creating them. Hmm. So the first option, there are a number of functions, नंबर ऑफ नहीं, दो तीन ही है भाई. There are some functions in ND array object that can generate numbers on the basis of criteria specified. They are, पहला है a range. About range, you have studied in Python that it generates numbers within the specific range. So a range is additional to this. You will find the difference. It is terminal. starting Python. Now import nd array, import numpy, import, I think visible, yes, import numpy as nm nm. Then let us say n1 you are creating as nm dot array range comma range by range. I think this way of like if you write range 1 10 2, ऐसे तो नहीं दिखाएगा. मान लिया लिखते हैं x इक्वल टू रेंज 1 10 2, what you wrote earlier. If I give it in x, then ये ऐसे ही केवल दिखा करके रह जा रहा है. x2, see range display is also अच्छा print से एक बार करके देखते हैं. print x ना ऐसे ही आ रहा है. This itself is declaring as a data value because the values are given at the time of processing, so it's coming like this. सीधा होना. But here you see, if I am giving x2, then the third value is coming 5. पहला 1, then 3, then 5. Is it so? But when you are printing overall, then it is telling that it is simply a sequence marked by range 1 10 2. Is it clear? Now when you give range and that n1 n also you see, n1 also you see, when you are writing n1, तो चलो ये भी ऐसा ही दे रहा है. d type equal to object it is giving. n plus 2 n1 plus 2. नहीं, ये रेंज के साथ ये प्रॉब्लम कर रहा है. जनरेट तो कर दिया, लेकिन आई थिंक n 2 3 n1 2 कॉमा 3 n1, पता नहीं है कैसे, 2 3 कॉमा 3. okay, no, this has created, but maybe some processing methods are a little bit different. But one thing I want to show you here, that if you write range 1 comma 10 comma 0.5, then it is giving error. Maybe some processing oriented restrictions are there in range. It's not clear to me also, so it's not coming here. But one thing you should pay attention, that it is giving float object cannot be interpreted as integer. Here I have given to generate the numbers from 1 to 10 at the interval of 0.5 rather than 1, but it is telling float is not supported. So NumPy provides a special range creation function, that is a range. So let us create it by a range. N1 equal to nm. Nm is our NumPy object, nd array object, array nm dot a range n1, ये तो आ जाएगा 13579 you are observing. N1 equal to nm dot array. When you give this in list, nm dot a range 1 comma 10 comma 2 comma nm dot a range 5 comma 10 comma 5, list close and bracket close. Then n1 when you will print, you will find अच्छा ये ऐसे नहीं, दूसरे तरीका, अभी तरीका मैं बताता हूँ. अभी सिंगल एरे देखो, n1 इक्वल टू nm डॉट एरे nm dot a range 1 comma 10 comma 2 you have seen. This is creating. Now you can give the fractional number also, like n1 n2 equal to nm dot array a range 1 comma 10 comma 0.2. 0.2. अब क्या हुआ? nm, this is nm dot array. N2 you are observing that you have the number, so many numbers generated at the interval of 0.2. Even starting and ending numbers are also given in fractional numbers. nm, अच्छा डायरेक्ट ही आता है, nm dot a range, let us say 1.33 comma 5.9 6.9 comma 0.7. Then you see directly it is giving 1.33, then adding 0.7, 2.03, then adding 0.7. So it equally works with the floating point numbers also. Is it so? Actually that two-dimensional array is created in a different way. Not like a general way of creating the array, but when you are generating the range of numbers, then all the numbers are generated together and then they are used. After finishing this, I will talk about it. So a range. This function is used to generate a sequence of numbers. It is similar like range, but it works for floating point numbers also. It has 3 parameters. Starting number of sequence, ending number, of sequence, and interval of count. अब देखो, suppose I give a range, छोटा ही देते हैं, let me zoom it. Suppose I write a range 10, nm dot a range 10. You are seeing automatically numbers from 0 to 9 is generated. Up to 10 the number is generated. Suppose you give a range, फिर लिख रहा है वैसे ही, nm dot a range 20, 30. Then in between 20 to 30 the numbers have come as an array. So on this basis you can conclude that this is optional and this is optional. इसी में लिख देते हैं optional, default 0, optional, default 1. So if a starting number is omitted, then by default it is taken 0. And if interval of count you will not specify, then by default it takes 1. Second, now in a range, you specify starting and ending an interval, but you are not knowing that how many numbers are going to be created. Number of items is immediately, instantly cannot be known. You have to apply the function like size or whatever you are there, size mainly when you will specify, then you will come to know that how many numbers has been generated in this particular case. So there is another function like a range that works with number of count. Here interval is decided by the function itself. Once you specify the number, once you specify the limit, then it works to create number of items you need to generate, rather the interval, but interval itself is decided, declared, or found out by the function itself. The function is line space. Let us see. nm dot line space 1 10 comma 100, yeah, suppose 25 I am giving. I have not given the interval. This is the starting number, this is the ending number, and 25 numbers I specified to be generated. Now here you see 1, then interval, it is taking by itself. Actually line space is acha chodo, this is not to think. It is actually this meaning is related to coordinate geometry, but that will be especially for mathematics students, not for you commerce students. Simply for you, this is the only thing is that whatever the count of numbers you will specify, it will generate the numbers accordingly between the limits, and the interval are generated. This is the function of this is the use of this function, this is the effect of this function. Okay, you are supposed to specify how many numbers you need within this limits. Interval is decided by the function itself. So here it is advantageous that as many as numbers you want, you can get within the limits, and what interval is there, it is not for you to decide. One more difference you are finding, that here you are specifying 30. In A range, when 30 is written, here 30 is not coming, it is coming up to 29. Getting? But here you are specifying 10, the last limit, the ending limit, here 10 is coming. So a difference is that in line space, the ending limit is inclusive, but in A range, ending limit is exclusive, it is not considered in the sequence. So let us write it. This function is used to generate a specific number of items within the given limits. The interval of count is set by the function itself on the basis of given criteria. There are 3 arguments needed. पहला starting limit, दूसरा ending limit, और तीसरा number of items. Example, nm dot line space generates 20 numbers between 1 and 20, 1 and 10, including last limit 10. This is excluded in a range. I have specially mentioned here to make you remember that in a range, last limit is not inclusive. तीसरा है for random numbers. This you have used earlier also. Let me check the reference, because random.rand int was for generating integral numbers. But what about decimal? Not remembering. ये बुक में नहीं दिया हुआ है. मीन्स मुझे नजर नहीं आया, हो सकता है कहीं और दिया हुआ हो. Document okay, why to search? Let us find on net. Floating point random numbers numpy. I think random.random and rand are there. About this I was confusing. Let us see. It will come. There are so many. One is uniform and another is this random. Random generates random numbers between 0 and 1. It gives any number generated between 0 and 1, not the sequence. But this uniform generates a sequence of random numbers within the given limits. This is the difference. सबसे पहले लिखो, तीन इसमें मैं लिखूंगा. पहला है आर रैंडम डॉट rand int. C. Suppose you are writing nm dot random dot rand int 20, 50, 30. This means that it is generating. Wait. I have given nm dot random dot rand int 20, 50 and 30. Now here 20 is the starting limit, 50 is the ending limit, and 30 is the number of items generated. Now you see here 50 I think is not inclusive, because the number is generated up to 49. So lower limit is 20, upper limit is less than 50, and total 30 different numbers will be generated. So here you are getting the sequence of random numbers, random integers. So you can write, is the habit to speak. Here I am writing, you are listening only. So let us write random.rand int. It is a function that generates a specified number of items as a sequence. No, a specified number of items within the given limits. Example, nm dot random dot rand int 10 30 मान लिया 50 दे देते हैं, generates 50 generates an array of 50 different numbers randomly within the limits of 10 and 30. Excluding 30. अरे ये तो भर गया. अच्छा, wait. So excluding 30, the numbers are generated. अब दूसरा देखो, nm dot random dot uniform 0.5 100.9. nm comma 40. Now see here, अब देखो, here the number of decimal point is much more. इतना प्रेसिशन में हम लोग खास करके आप कॉमर्स में तो काम नहीं करेंगे. अब अगर पूछा जाए कि ये जो नंबर जनरेट हो रहा है ये किस टाइप का डेटा है, तो हम कैसे जानेंगे? लास्ट में डी टाइप लिख करके देखते हैं. सी, इट इज टेलिंग फ्लोट 64, यानी ये 64 बिट फ्लोटिंग पॉइंट नंबर है. इट इज ऑफ द हाईएस्ट प्रेसिशन. प्रेसिशन का मतलब कि वो कितना एक्यूरेट है. लेवल ऑफ एक्यूरेसी इज कॉल्ड प्रेसिशन. So you see, you have specified the floating point numbers also, and it is working similar like rand int, only is that it works with floating point numbers also, the same as the difference in range and a range. So let us write about this also. दूसरा है random dot uniform. This function is used to generate floating point numbers generate floating point, अच्छा, floating point numbers within the given limits. Arguments are starting point, ending point, and तीसरा है number of items. ये ऑप्शनल है. When not given, only one number, only one random number is returned. Example, nm dot random dot uniform 1 comma 50.2 comma 10 generates 10 random numbers. Float 64 ये डेटा टाइप है. फिर तीसरा फंक्शन देखा आपने, इट इज RAND. देखो nm डॉट रैंडम डॉट RAND, इसमें कुछ नहीं करना है, नो आर्ग्यूमेंट्स. Once you give nm.random.rand, then it simply gives you any number ranging between 0 to 1. इसका भी ये मेरे ख्याल से float 64 ही है. D type, if you will see, nm.random.rand.d type. इसको लेना पड़ेगा, फिर भी आना तो चाहिए. मान लिया x इक्वल टू nm डॉट रैंडम RAND, x में चला गया, x डॉट डी टाइप. इसको अच्छा numpy में लेंगे तब ये दिखाएगा, अदरवाइज इट इज सिंपली अ नंबर. The previous one was a list, that is why d type was applicable to this, but since it is a single number, d type is not applicable here. अगर कोई टाइप फंक्शन हो तो भले वो आ सकता है, लेकिन अभी चेक नहीं करेंगे उसको. ठीक है. दिस जनरेट्स, गलत लिखा मैंने इसको, random dot RAND. This function is used to generate a single random number between 0 and 1. You may think that what is the significance of generating the number between 0 to 1. So when the number is between 0 to 1, any number, when any integer, when you will multiply in that, the number will move to that range. For example, it is coming 0 7 9 2 5 7 8 7, और इसमें multiply अगर कर दिया 100 का, then 2 point decimal will be shifted here and it will become 7. उसका integer value ले लेगा तो 7 हो जाएगा. Actually, Python is having this flexibility, but in other languages only one random number generated is there that generates the number between 0 and 1, and in whatever the limits and whatever the case you need, you can take it by multiplying integers or by taking its rounded value. Like that, operations are done. Here in Python, the work is flexible, that it gives you to generate according to your requirement. Ab last thing, that is reshaping the ND array. This is very important when you are generating the sample space by yourself. Arbitrary numbers you are taking for creating the ND array, then it is specific, it is necessary to change the shape of ND array on the basis of your requirement. Like, अच्छा पहले दिखा देते हैं. Suppose you are writing n2 equal to nm dot array nm dot uniform 125. ये तो जनरेट कर दिया, क्या गड़बड़ है भाई? अच्छा, n2 random dot uniform जनरेट कर दिया n2. when you will see n2 इक्वल टू, मान लिया 1 से 25 के बीच में आपने 20 नंबर जनरेट कर दिया. सो आप देख लीजिए कि दिस इज a one dimensional array. Here is the starting bracket and here is the ending bracket. The rank of this ND array is 1. Now if you will write n2 equal to n2 dot reshape four comma 5. Now I am printing n2. Now you see 1 2 3 4. और यहाँ देखना है ना, 1 2 3 4 5 bracket close here. Then again 1 2 3 4 5 bracket close here. Again bracket starts 1 2 3 4 5. Here also bracket close here, 1 2 3 4 5 bracket close here and final bracket close here. And how many total lines? 1 2 3 4. So 4 rows and 5 columns has been made on the basis of 20 elements, and the array has been changed to one dimensional array to two dimensional array. That means the rank of the array becomes 2. So when you are generating the random numbers, it is good to reshape it according to your requirement. Then you will get the array to work with in the proper way, and you can do the operations of your requirements. Actually, this is given generating equidistant or sequence of numbers and reshaping it is given in your book later on slicing, but I discussed it in the beginning before I discuss about slicing, because once you go for studying slicing and indexing operation, you should have a big ND array also, properly generated array also, so that you can apply these operations on the proper way. You can understand it in a better way. So let me write this. Reshaping ND array. The shape of NumPy array can be changed in other words, rank of ND array can be changed using the function reshape. The new shape of array is specified with it to get the task performed. अब जरा एक चीज देखो, टाइम हो गया भाई, लेकिन 2 मिनट और लगेगा. Suppose this n2 is a two-dimensional array. Suppose you give n2 dot reshape 5, 10. Then you see it is giving you error. It is giving you error. Total size of new array must be unchanged. So the shaping of array is shaping of array must agree number of elements. Like 4 and 5 I have given. अच्छा छोटा एक देख करके देखो. n2 dot reshape 2, 4. Now see, this is also giving the error. Total size of new array must be unchanged. This proves that whatever is the size of array, you have to reshape it accordingly, so that product of all the dimensions you have given, all the parameters you have given must come exactly same as the size. While reshaping the array, it is necessary to consider its size as the lengths as the product of lengths must be exactly same as the size. For example, to reshape an array in 4:5:4 or 4:5, number of elements must be exactly 20. So this is all today. Now I am winding up. किसी को कुछ पूछना है? अरे yes, screen is not visible clearly, but in my terminal it is visible. Why it was not going at your side? Maybe I was doing without zooming it, so you were not showing, but there is no problem. Whatever I wrote, I will send soon after this class, so referring all those, the things will be clear to you. Don't worry. And once you will get it, you will read the read about line space and a range and reshaping of nd array in your book. Here it is mentioned. See, this is 6.4 indexing and slicing. After indexing and slicing, it is given. Operations on array में भी नहीं है, आगे है. रीशेपिंग एरेज 6.7 में ये दिया हुआ है. एंड अबाउट रैंडम नंबर्स एंड ऑल आई हैव डिस्कस्ड फ्रॉम माय साइड, उसको भी थोड़ा देख लेंगे. सो आज का वर्क किताब से ज़्यादा माय डिस्क्रिप्शन ओरिएंटेड इज देयर. सो द command text and the text of the writing board, both I will send. You will refer them and you will understand all those things. Whatever you will not understand, whatever queries will be there, you can send the message and get the queries rectified. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.